Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout using the documented collection from Bella Blvd. This is actually part of this month's Flavors of the Month kit from the scrap room. However, I am actually using pieces that I already had in my stash. I probably could have easily created this layout with the stuff from the scrap room, but I hadn't dug into that yet, and so I just decided to use what I had in my stash first. So the picture, excuse me, that I am going to be using or documenting are of my oldest and my mom. So my oldest was lucky enough to have my mom work at the school for the first 2 years that he was in the elementary school, and then she decided to retire. So these are a couple of photos of her last days with him, and in the one on the right, he must have done with his teacher, like a little sign. It says, "I love Nana this much," with the kids' hands outstretched. And so I just thought this was a perfect collection to document everyday life and moments and special memories like this. So I have the yellow border. I just love bordering my layouts. It just brings an extra color maybe and kind of helps maybe your focus come into the middle a little bit more instead of all the white space on the edges. That's just my personal opinion. There's no right and wrong by any means. So, but that's what I tend to gravitate towards. So I am going to cut these 3 pattern papers and dovetail each of the ends. I decided to kind of fold it over and cut both ends at the same time, and then they are uniform. I don't do this all the time, but I figured why not save some time, and they stayed bent just a little bit, but not bad. Once I put tape on, you can't even tell. So I'm going to kind of layer them behind my 2 photos here, and I decided to have a giant chipboard title, and that will go on that bottom blue strip. So what I'm actually going to do is kind of work backwards, I guess, and I will do my title first, making sure I have enough room on the blue paper before I kind of tape everything down. And that way I have the spacing that I need for this giant title. So what I am finding that I love about this collection, and what actually maybe scared me away from it in the beginning, is just all of the generic, I guess I'll call it, pieces and embellishments. Like I'm looking at the final layout and I have a pair of glasses, a pencil, paper clips, a typewriter. Those kind of scared me away from buying it originally. I had actually ordered it from a Cherry on Top, canceled the order, and then reordered it because of FOMO, and I am so thankful that I did reorder it because I am loving the colors, and it's just been so good for those photos that maybe I haven't known what to use to document them. This is definitely my go-to with those. So I did go to the border sheet, the cut apart sheet, and grab 2 kind of borders from there. Did it need it? No, not really, but I did actually want to kind of elongate it. I guess I could have maybe cut another piece of pattern paper, but this way I got a couple of other patterns in it and used up some of the borders. So I will just kind of tape those going down the page. And I think, if I remember correctly, embellishing this one comes together pretty quickly. And you might notice that I have left quite a large space on the bottom, but not a lot on the top. And that's because I plan on doing my journaling in that white space. I handwrite all my journaling, so it's something I do off camera and kind of right before I put my layouts away into the page protectors and the albums. So that is why you look at it and think, why is there such a white space on the bottom? But I kind of told you the story of the photos in the beginning, and so I definitely want to document that and add that somewhere. So that's kind of what I have in mind. And it's funny, my mom retired the spring before my youngest started kindergarten. So my oldest got her for 2 years and my youngest never got her. And I gave her a hard time for retiring right before he got to kindergarten. But he did great. He didn't need her. I will say my oldest definitely, it was a good thing that she was there for the first couple of years. There were several times that he kind of needed her in that transition those first years because kindergarten was COVID. So he made it through March, and then first grade would have been the year that these photos were taken at the end of first grade. So he definitely, with that changing times, definitely needed her there. So it was a blessing. All right, so using the Bella Pop, I added that to the top right. I thought about adding it to the kind of title there to spruce that up, but it changed my mind. Instead, I found that heart, and it says, love this, and I thought that was perfect to add there. Love this life documented. And then adding some paper clips to the typewriter at the top. One of the things I love doing lately is as I'm going through the ephemera pack, I kind of place the ephemera where I think maybe I will want it to go. And it just helps me kind of decide maybe faster. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm kind of going through the pieces, figuring out what maybe I want to use and where maybe it will go. And so I kind of have the pencil and glasses with the paperclip down on the bottom, the typewriter and paper clips at the top, and then the love you speech bubble with the paper clip on the top left. I am going to commit to the heart here and on top of kind of the title, and really kind of commit to the placements of all of the other pieces that I have laid down. Now, it doesn't always go this smoothly. I don't always love kind of where I place them originally and will kind of play around with them, but it has definitely helped speed up my process, I think. Instead of just kind of sorting through the ephemera, I'm kind of creating while sorting through the ephemera that way. So again, just kind of trying to finish off the clusters. There's just so many different pieces. So I'll add a heart to that top cluster. What I end up adding is I add a second paper clip to the bottom cluster. And then I go into the puffy stickers and add this camera here to that heart right there on the title. I will end up sneaking in a puffy flower at the top there. And then there are just some hearts. I don't know if they're on the puffy sticker sheet or they're enamel hearts. But I will kind of end up going through and adding a couple of those. They must be on the enamel sticker sheet. So just kind of finishing off the clusters now. I did sneak in another paper clip to the top cluster with a little bow on it. I just thought that was super cute. That second paper clip to the bottom, and then here, okay, these hearts, I got these, I was so confused where they came from. I got these at She Loves Color. They're actually Doodlebug, but color-wise, there were several of them that matched really nicely. So I will sprinkle one throughout each of the clusters, and then that is going to finish off the layout. So I will link the documented collection down below. I just absolutely love it. I love the colors and how easy it actually has been to use it, especially for me where I really think I thrive on themed scrapbooking. I've found it that this is actually easy for me to use, which is very surprising for me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. I will link it down below if you are interested, but hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.